So, little update around the shop. First things first, we went on a trail ride. I got some videos. I'm probably going to make a video at like the end of the summer of all the rides we went on this summer, because this has been like one of the summers we started going on rides again. But anyways, get back to it. We've gone on quite a few. I don't get that many videos, but I do have a couple. And like I said, at the end of this summer, I'll probably put together a big video of all the little pieces of videos I got of us riding on the mowers and shit. But anyways, we went on a decent ride last weekend, I believe it was, and we were going up some really steep hills, and the transmission started saying I don't like them. But from what I know, I let this thing cool off when we were on the hill for like 10 minutes, started back up, thing drove, so, and it drove me all the way home. So, came down here. Well, that's not a drain plug, so that's always good. Not a drain plug, a dipstick, I mean. But, close that. I think this is the overfill tank. I was thinking this might be a fill. But what I do know is that I spent 30 minutes cleaning all the mud off top of this thing, which wasn't helping anything. This tank was loose, so I mounted it back up. But there's not much fluid in it. But it must be an overflow tank. I'm going to have to look that up. And then there's a plug right here. You kind of can see. I'm going to pull that plug out. I got some 80, 90. I'm going to see what the fluid's at, see what the fluid's supposed to be at, and then go from there, and I'll get back to you guys. So, as you can tell, there's not a rear end in it anymore. And that is for the simple fact of people, meaning engineers, can be really stupid. And the only plug on this fucking rear end is this top drain plug. There's no drain plug under there. Nowhere. No drain plug. That little thing that I know you guys are gonna comment if I don't show you, so I'll just show you. It's just that. It's not a drain. There's no drain on the bottom of this thing. So, pulled the rear end out, right out of it, which ain't a bad idea because there are a couple things I gotta fix, like this support, as you can tell, is breaking off. I gotta take the sledgehammer to the frame a little bit again and weld this piece back in. But that's it that I found that's broken. Just these top welds right here broke. But that's because one of the supports go right there, so but besides that, the frame seems to be holding up pretty well since I did those front ones and these ones. Well, I did these ones a while ago, but look at that. This is loose. I gotta do something about that. I think I welded the other one, if I'm not mistaken. No, I didn't. Oh, yeah. No, I didn't. This one's just... Alright, so that's another problem we have to address, which really is just putting new bolts in it, probably. But, yeah, besides that, she's doing pretty good. So I'm going to change the rear end fluid, do a couple other little things, and I'll get back to you guys. Only drain plug on the rear end. Matt. Okay, so I got 2 quarts in the transmission. It takes 2.5, I believe, but I'm gonna run 2 quarts for now. Just see how it does. It's fine. It's at the top of the line, but it calls for 2.5 quarts, so I don't know. But I don't have no more. It's full, so we're gonna run it, and then I'll check it again. But got the rear end back in. Got my frame supports fixed. I had to fix a weld there and 2 on the other side, so I got the transmission all mounted in. I fixed my one right front mount, tightened the rear mounts. We're gonna throw the tires back on, throw the battery in, and I'm gonna take it for a ride and see how it does. Alright, so rear end is back in the tractor. I started it, ran it, I filled it up. I put 2 quarts in it. It calls for 3. It was filled. I started it. It's down. It needs, well, it calls for 2.5, I believe, and I put 2 in it. It started to move, and then it stopped. It needs more fluid anyway. It needs more fluid. So I got to run to the store, get more fluid. I am going to post this video tonight, I think, because I want to get a video up. So there is going to be a part 2, sadly. But, all I gotta do is put more fluid in this and it should be good. Trans is all back in, mounts are fixed, belts on. What else? I did, oh, battery in it, but I put, probably can't really see, but there's a brand new solenoid. See that shiny? That's brand new solenoid down there. For the push button works now. This is on switch, this is off. This is on and off, this is lights. Put a new air filter on there, even though it needs to be changed already. It's already fucking covered. Did an oil, I've done like too many oil changes on this thing, but she got a nice clean oil change, pretty clean. Only like 4 hours probably on it, I believe, no more. I don't know what I last showed you guys, but there's a new bumper on it because I broke off the bumper with the winch on it. Well, the front piece, it was mounted here. I had a winch on it, but the winch didn't work anyway, so I just welded this piece in there and then put my chain back on with some wire. Believe it or not, I've pulled out quite a few things with this wire, and the wire has not broken yet. So the wire is actually doing better than when I welded it. So, but I also am not a pro welder. So, but what else? I'm still debating on what to do for my front end, because I have the frame straight now, but now you can tell, like I told you guys, like I said, if you watch the video of when I straightened it more, I've straightened this front end like 40 different times, but frame straight now, and it doesn't seem to be bending anymore after I supported it. But you can tell if you look in there, it's just that bottom where it mounts in, it's just that piece. So I'm thinking I'm gonna put a little lift in it and bring it down a little bit and build my own type of mount for the front end to get it straightened up, because this tilt bothers me like a sumbitch. So probably gonna do that eventually. I don't know when, hopefully soon. Made this exhaust for it because the other one, the tires were rubbing. Well, this one still rubs, but not as bad. And I can take a hammer to this one. This one's a little thicker. The other one was just a thin piece, so if I hit it with a hammer, it'd be screwed. But it sounds pretty good with the thicker diameter pipe too, though. Also put the steering wheel to match the dash, the steering, all the steering components and stuff like that. I think it looks a little better because I had the centerpiece. If I had the centerpiece for the older one, I'd run that, but I don't. Trying to think what else. I think that's about it. Like I said, gotta get fluid for the rear end. At some point, I'm gonna mess with the front end. But besides that, she's doing pretty good. So yeah, peace.